Welcome to the Elusive Podcast.
You found us.
We are a hard-to-find podcast, harder to find than the light switch when you're having a nightmare. I'm your host, plastic artist and Mean Girls enthusiast, Levi Van Scoik.
And I'm your other host, partially successful Appalachian Trail hiker and amateur horse trainer, Lyndsay Burnett.
At the top of the show, we like to hand out an existential warning. Some of the stuff we cover isn't super good for your mental health. So if you gotta take a break, go out and touch grass, listen, we get it. Some of the stuff we cover can be kind of rough.
Absolutely.
And welcome back. If you're just getting back with us, we were just talking about John Allan Chau and his foray onto North Sentinel Island.
Mm-hmm. It's a crazy story so far.
So get that 5-point harness out and buckle up.
Click, click.
In 2018, after he got all of the 13 immunizations needed to travel, which would do absolutely nothing to protect the uncontacted Sentinelese, and then he did an 11-day quarantine without sunlight.
What?
Yeah, I still haven't figured out why he did it or what it would do.
So he stayed 11 days in dark
Yes.
to go in the middle of nowhere where there's that
Sunlight.
makes no sense.
None. Like, I've actually, tried to look at, if there was, skin flora or fauna that he was trying to, disinfect to take off of his skin. No, there is no therapeutic, there is no holistic, there's no reason at all.
So you're saying darkness, not infrared, not blue light, not
Just
any
darkness. 11 days in darkness.
bonkers.
Right. And we still don't know why he did this. Survival International, a group that advocates on behalf of these uncontacted people, said that it was ineffective at keeping the native population safe for contact and only helped the contactor, not the contactees.
See, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after his 11 days in darkness, he bribed a couple of Christian fishermen to take him with a fishing boat to take him to the island.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so I just want to point out, everybody in this situation knew about the 3-mile exclusion zone.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. The
Mm-hmm.
fishermen, John Allan Chau, the Sentinelese probably know about the 3-mile exclusion
Mm-hmm.
zone, the Indian government. Everybody knows. Okay.
And I do also have to point out that he had to get Christian fishermen so that the Christians understood what he was doing. Everybody else was like, no, man, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But hey, yeah, sure, dude. We'll help you. What the heck?
So he bribed these Christian fishermen to take him into this 3-mile exclusion zone, ducking the Indian Coast Guard to do so. They literally had to go behind reefs and everything to change their radar signature so they looked like part of the islands.
All of that behavior says they know it was a problem.
Yeah, all of that.
Red flags.
Mm-hmm. If we were attorneys and this was a law case, this would be oh yeah, this proves their guilt, their intent. From the beginning.
Absolutely. This is peak stalker vibe right here.
Oh, speaking of a little peek into his mindset at the time, he wrote in his journal that this was Satan's last stronghold, and saving them was his burden.
What manifest destiny is this?
Yeah, well, maybe you are not aware, but Satan's got a whole bunch of strongholds. It's like Helm's Deep. He's got one that's got just swords. He's got one for just fiery horses, I think.
Look, man, just because I
cut
played the banjo when I was a kid doesn't mean I walk with Satan, so I don't know his ways.
Well, you know a thing or two about the devil and instruments.
Okay, look.
What?
Look, just because I grew up playing a fiddle and I do know the devil went down to Georgia does not mean I know his ways.
I'm just saying that the fiddle made of solid gold would sound terrible.
Yeah, you have a
it would
point.
be really hard to string it, and it would be really hard to tune it.
But if you lose, the devil gets your soul. Ba, ba, ba. Anyways, okay, go.
Okay. The amount of rules, laws, and just basic humanity that he had to selfishly step over for his own personal mission actually makes me a little sick.
Yeah.
Remember, he knew all about the Sentinelese. He had done years of research. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that contacting these people might lead to their deaths or his own.
I mean, obviously, that's why he spent 11 days in the dark. He knew.
Yeah, and yet he didn't let something like that stop him.
No.
It wasn't like people didn't try to stop him, or at the very least, they tried to warn him that what he was doing probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of people doing stupid shit.
Obviously.
But as long as it's stupid shit that doesn't hurt anyone else. That's my one and only rule.
to thy own stupid shit be true.
Yeah, do whatever you want, but as soon as you make other people participate in your dumb shit, consequences included, that's what earns you a black mark in my book.
Yeah, right out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, if you want to sit in the privacy of your own home and smoke the stuff under the sink, that's none of my business.
Nope.
But as soon as you start trying to force other people to smoke it with you, there's where you cross the line.
That's called coercion.
That's right. That being said, please don't smoke the stuff under your sink.
It's gross.
It's none of my business, but it's also super not good for you.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Speaking of people who are probably high, let's get back to this fucking guy.
I'm sorry, but yeah, high on something.
High on something. He had the Christian fisherman take him just offshore, where he stripped down to his underwear and took a kayak to the beach.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Just because they're naked? Hey, hi, I'm naked.
Well,
what?
The funniest thing about that is they saw him with clothes on the boat.
Right.
So, like...
Or was this yet another one of those weird rituals of not to, like being in the dark?
I wasn't threatened with plastic spears, and I didn't do the whole LARPing experience, so it might be part of what they trained him to do. It's like you have to show them your genitals to earn their trust or something. I don't know.
Oh.
They came out to the beach and they threatened him with their bows. He threw some fish on the beach and ran back to the kayak and paddled out of arrow range.
Okay. Very brave of him.
It was a charge, headlong back to the boat.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I know this is messed up, but the image of Johnny Depp and the Pirates of Caribbean running from the tribe on the beach.
Accurate. But in
except
his underwear.
For naked.
And with less eyeliner.
And way less eyeliner.
That's it.
Thank you. Okay.
So then he starts singing hymns and trying to repeat the words that he heard them saying, which they laughed at him for thoroughly.
Oh.
Then a young boy he just got tired of his shit. He shot an arrow at John, who was holding a waterproof Bible in front of his chest, and the arrow got stopped by the Bible.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So he took that as the signal he needed to get the fuck out of there, and he did.
Oh, not that Christ was his shield and that he should keep Okay.
So yeah, after they shot an arrow at his chest and he stopped it with the Bible, he got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, good.
And they stole his kayak.
I mean...
And he had to swim back.
3 miles out to the...
Well, not
further.
3 miles out. I mean, that's when the exclusion zone. The fishermen were anchored within that 3 miles.
Just outside of the sphere. That's... Okay. I mean...
Now, when they took his kayak, they also took his passport, which is important for the next part of the story. No, they didn't steal his identity.
No.
And buy a bunch of stuff online with his credit cards.
No.
If you think you know where this is going.
No.
He probably would have left right after that if not for his passports. Dangers of not having your passports it's...
I'm assuming it's a lot like the mole people. If you don't have identification...
That is a perfect callback. Yes, he would be effectively stranded, but not under the streets of Las Vegas, as we previously talked about, but in India.
Yeah, in different countries.
Yeah, and it's not impossible to get your passport back, but it can be really difficult.
Resources are necessary. Yeah. And time. Which
he had all of. Let's just go ahead and say that really fast. Not only was he sponsored by these people that sent him there, so he had a budget, so he could have gotten
he had funding. So it's not like the mole people at all.
No.
Because it's self-fueled stupidity.
Also, he could have gone to any of the Indian consulates, the American consulates in India, and he would have had maybe 2 or 3 days of inconvenience comparatively to what happened to him.
Yeah, but now they have a picture of him as proof as don't come back.
Yeah, he's now the poster boy. So the next day, he tells the fisherman to drive away, out of sight, and come back for him the next day.
Just drop him on the beach?
That's right.
Just, never mind, bye.
After seeing him almost get murked by an arrow.
Yet again, very stalker behavior.
Yeah.
I know she shot me, but she loves me.
So, yeah, in his, you got me. In his journal, wow, you really got me. So in his journal, he believed that if the fisherman saw him die, that he would like ruin their lives. So he wanted them to like not see. God damn it, you totally ruined me. Sorry. So the next day, he tells the fishermen to drive away, out of sight, and come back for him the next day, believing that the boat was causing the islanders to be aggressive. It was the boat.
Oh, it's the boat, not the naked person that doesn't belong on their beach.
Semi-naked. He's wearing a fig leaf of tidy whities. International fig leaf.
And the internal image just keeps getting better. Oh my goodness.
But he also noted in his journal that he also didn't want the fishermen to see him get killed if that's what was going to happen. Let me just get this out of the way. I personally believe he wanted to die. And I don't mean like a suicidal person.
So like he wanted to be a martyr.
Yes. You see, he had been basically brainwashed into believing that if he died doing a mission like this, that he would die as a martyr. And in that world, and in other extreme religious sects, it's believed that if you die, whether it's by arrows or clacking off a suicide vest, that you get a golden ticket straight to the penthouse of your afterlife in Virgins or whatever.
Virgins, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is so, it's a hard jump.
It is.
It's a really hard jump for me.
It is. But that's what they brainwashed him into believing. Later on, spoiler alert, John Allan Chau's dad is going to blame all of the people involved for brainwashing him into thinking that this was the proper way to contact the tribe.
Oh, can't wait to get to that. But still, like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fuck around and find out island. Now
he's about to find out.
He tells the boats, go away. Leave me. And then, now what?
Yeah. So if he succeeded, he would be a hero of the Christian faith.
Yeah.
So if he didn't succeed, he would also be a hero to the Christian faith.
That's how that martyrdom catch-22 works.
Yeah,
you die, you win.
Yeah, so in his mind, he couldn't lose, whichever way it went.
Right.
The next time the fishermen saw him, it was his corpse, and it was being dragged across the beach with a rope. While they couldn't get close enough to tell how he had actually died, they assumed it was from arrows.
Yeah, and dragged across the beach.
Yes.
Yo, that's a display of, I told you, go away.
I thought I had warned you already previously on many, many occasions.
We were nice yesterday.
Yes.
Apparently you didn't learn.
The Indian government decided it was way too dangerous to try to collect the body, which is most likely buried somewhere on the island. Now, some people have tried to say the Sentinelese are cannibals. While there are cannibal tribes in the Andaman Islands, the people of North Sentinel Island bury their dead.
Okay.
Let me say that again. They bury their dead. Which, to a cannibal society, would be the highest form of disrespect you could imagine.
Okay. So, like, the opposite of a cannibalistic society.
Right. Well, see, a lot of people, like, especially online forums or whatever, they will be very quick to say that the Sentinelese are cannibals. For no reason.
No basis.
Basis.
Just because.
But this is the proof that you need that they are not cannibals.
Okay. So they've conflated the fact that there are cannibals around that area, that island in and of itself.
Right. Now, while some tribes that practice cannibalism out of a need to take their enemy's power, most of the people that eat people do so out of love and respect. That's
fascinating. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that. Yeah.
In their beliefs, it's their way of taking the people you love with you wherever you go.
Oh!
Which is kind of beautiful in a macabre kind of way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sprinkling someone's ashes on crops in hopes that their strength will go into the plants and make a stronger harvest. Okay. The latter of which is actually a common practice even today.
Yeah, I get energy in, energy out. I get that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure that that's cannibalism, but it's in the same area code in my opinion. Not that I'm judging, just the facts.
Gray lines. Yeah.
Well, it's about transferring that energy to people. Like, I'm not saying I'm advocating. I'm saying this is what their belief structure is.
No, I can kind of understand that because isn't that it's a stretch, but isn't that kind of in the ways that when we were hunters, that when we took a life of, say, a deer or a moose, we would thank it for its life, for its energy.
Right.
Something similar to that, but with your loved ones.
Right.
I mean, it's a stretch.
Not really.
But
it's well within. Okay, so in some cannibalistic tribes, the idea of taking your enemy's power. So let's say that there's, I don't know, an action hero in the other tribe that's just like, I don't know, the Bruce Willis of diehards of Andaman people.
Highlander?
Sure. Okay, sure. Pick your action hero of choice. You want to eat that guy's heart because you want that power. That I'm not saying that that's how it works.
It's not just cutting their heads off. You got to eat it too. Yeah,
Right.
gotcha.
You have to absorb their power. Now, the other flip side of that is you need to absorb your grandmother's energy so that you could be more like your grandma. That's what the belief of the cannibalism is. Not just that the scarceness of food driving cannibalism, but also there is a religious aspect to it as well.
Well, and being raised Christian, as I was and as you were, the eating of the Christ's body and his, I mean...
It's exactly what is described in communion. You're exactly right. It's exactly what is communion, or what is described in taking communion.
Okay, there we go. Got it. All right.
The All Nations organization went on to call John Allan Chau a martyr.
Of course.
His father blamed them publicly for the death of his son.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, he was just completely shocked by the change in his behavior after going to the LARPing events and after the boot camp and all of the things.
Oh, so his father watched. So then his dad wasn't supportive before he left?
I mean, he was as supportive as a father can be, but he was also like, hey, you should probably not do this, especially the way you're talking about going to do this.
Like, yo, this is messed up, man.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But he didn't realize the depth of the brainwashing until he read his son's journals.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks so bad. I feel for him.
Same. Many Christian groups came out against All Nations and what John Allan Chau had done, while still others lifted him up as a role model to be admired.
Yeah. Mind-boggling. Yeah. Okay. This comes into the fundamentalism of it, but still, if they don't want to be contacted, leave them alone.
Right.
Don't make this guy a king, a spiritual king. That's what a martyr is, in my opinion. Okay. You know, you glorifying them. Yeah. For stupid things, for hurting other... Okay, anyways, continue. My rant is over.
That's all right. That's pretty depressing, right?
Yeah.
You know what else is depressing?
What?
The fact that we must once again bow down to our corporate overlords in hopes that their eye of Sauron is distracted from what we are doing.
Uh-oh.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Now that the corporate cloaking device is back on, let's get back to the story. That was really good. I like that. Leave all of that in. That was. The last uncontacted tribe I want to talk about is actually part of a larger problem.
Larger than everything else you've already talked about.
Yes.
Oh, great.
I want to talk about the lovely country of Brazil.
Brazil.
I can't say enough about the natural beauty this country contains. From its white, sandy, highly polluted beaches, a culture unlike any other, but the thing they should be known for is their uncompromising ideas on what natural resources are and who should have them.
I have a really bad idea of where this is going.
You see, Brazil is one of those places that it's hard to make a buck. Aside from heavy industry and tourism, that just leaves mining, ranching, and agriculture.
Oh, no.
Yeah, since I was a wee lad, I've heard about how we have to protect the rainforest at all costs.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought we made a difference. I thought we were doing it.
Yeah. It's the lungs of the earth, right?
Right, yeah.
We need them to continue living.
The truth is, we didn't do shit.
No.
The rainforest is being deforested at a nightmarish rate.
Yeah.
And the Brazilian government not only doesn't seem to care, but they're all the way behind it.
As a matter of fact, I know I'm cutting in here, but I just read recently that the amount of the rainforest that has been deforested is like 300,000 square miles. That's the size of Texas.
Yeah.
We haven't done shit.
Well, and also, Texas is pretty deforested itself. They just kind of clear that whole state out for you. Except for the eastern parts.
Well, you live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just drove through it. Yeah. Anyways.
Whew,
back to Brazil.
Really depressing. Think about the capybaras before you burn, guys. Come on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, capybaras.
And doesn't the Amazon rainforest have like 10% of the species that are like they guess that we still haven't found there because it's so dense?
Have you seen the movie Medicine Man with Sean Connery?
No.
Oh, so Sean Connery is this he works for the pharmaceutical companies, and like they go out into the rainforest and he actually finds a cure for cancer that's like in ant poop. And
Okay.
this is the perfect movie to watch for this segment of the podcast, because so they burn down the forest while he's in sight of the cure of cancer.
Are you serious?
Now, I'm not taking a walk here and saying that that's where most of our medicine comes from.
It's not hyperbolic. That is absolutely what happens.
I forgot the word. Yeah. Yeah. The amount of cures, the amount of medicines, the amount of things that have already been lost, we will never even know about.
Because of fires.
Because, here's the spoiler alert. They don't just clear cut it. They also burn that shit.
Right.
And, they burn it every day, all day, into the night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have bulldozers running. When we were younger and they were talking about the deforestation of the rainforest, it was like an acre at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about hectares at a time.
Right. And that doesn't come back. No. I know, I grew up in the Southwest in an area where in the 1960s, I think, 1950s, they decided to go in there with bulldozers for a whole bunch of miles and knock over ancient pinyon and cedar trees that had been there for thousands of years, right? Those things take forever and by the way, it takes fire.
That's right.
To initiate new growth, right? So they went through there and clear cut it for cows. Well, nothing grows out there for the cows to eat. So guess what there is dead land. So I'm guessing there's areas like that in the 300,000 miles of clear cutting in rainforest that also ended up that way.
I'm glad you brought up cattle, because back to the script, the biggest problem I can see from all of this is the ranchers. They cut and burn the forest that could literally hold the cure for cancer, we just covered that, to make room for livestock. These animals that aren't from around here, call back to one of our previous episodes, and do massive damage, not only to the local environment, but their methane farts actually make the earth hotter.
I.e. invasive species.
But first, they have to clear that land, and sometimes that means clearing the land of people, too. Yeah, get ready. Buckle up. You might need a 10-point harness for this one.
Oh.
Jair Bolsonaro, who is a real-life piece of shit. A piece of shit that has almost been killed by his own shit multiple times.
That's right, huh?
Seriously, look it up. This is one of the few times that you will see karma at work in real time. If you just watch Jair Bolsonaro, you can watch karma just beating the shit out of him with a stick.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I hate him so much. Anyways, this motherfucker. Oh, basically from the second he got any power, he started calling for the rights of Native Indians to be taken away.
Right.
The saddest thing about this story is that the government agreed.
Yeah, because, of course.
Yeah, so when he became president, he basically declared war on them. But
For real?
Yeah, but not like war. War in this case is not bombs and mortars. They simply turned their gaze away from what was happening.
So, genocide.
The wholesale slaughter of the people in the state of Rondônia wasn't something the world at large was aware of. Between the 1970s to the 1990s, a secret genocide happened.
Called it!
Entire tribes were wiped out by the ranchers, seeking their land. In some cases, when dealing with uncontacted tribes, the government would simply deny their existence.
Oh my God, it sounds almost exactly like what happened here in America, going across the plains. Except
the U.S. government actually was like, oh, that's a Sioux tribe. We need to kill them. That's a Cherokee tribe. We need to move them. The Brazilian government said, these people don't exist.
We see nothing.
They never existed there.
So
there's no people there. Yeah.
Is this like an Avatar the movie situation?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, we need their home tree. You need to move.
We see nothing. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, move them. We need a carrot or stick. And they just chose all stick all the time, 24/7.
Wow.
Yeah, this one actually gives me heartburn just talking about it because it was so messed up. Entire tribes were wiped out by the ranchers seeking their land. In some cases, when dealing with uncontacted tribes, the government would simply deny their existence. Nobody knows how many people were killed in this time, and nobody knows for sure if entire tribes that had never been contacted had been murdered and forgotten about.
Can we just take a moment to think about that for a second?
Yeah.
For serious, how many different stories have I heard like this where they're gone?
There's a culture just in the wind.
We don't know who and how they are, their oral traditions, they're not just poof.
Yeah.
And oh well, bad for them.
Because if a culture doesn't keep written records, which many cultures don't have written language. They have
Right.
oral histories
Right.
or art. Like the Vikings are a perfect example of this. They barely had any art and barely any writing.
Right. The runes were so much more than just words. They
Right.
were.
It wasn't so much as a recorded period of history that they were writing down with the runes, but like stories of, heroic events and things like that.
And protection talismans. Yeah.
Right, but that's the problem with having an oral history is it can be lost overnight if your culture is lost.
Right, because you could actually read the alphabet, like using the runes yet again, to somewhat surmise what they spoke, but yet then you would lose the fact that they use them for protection or for divination, because
Or-
that oral history would be gone.
The fact that these tribes don't have runes at all.
Right. Oh,
That's the
man.
point I'm trying to make, is they have no written history. Much like the Native American tribes of the plains that use beads to tell the story of their histories. That's a physical marker of history that they have.
Wow.
These tribes don't have any of that. So, just gone. And it's not like they know how to pour concrete or structures that can last the test of time, because one wet season and all of their structures are gone, which is why they're nomadic.
Gotcha. Okay. There's a whole bunch of people throughout history that fits for. So, yeah.
And this is all leading up to the Man of the Hole.
The Man of the Hole?
Yes. The Man of the Hole was a Tanaru Indian, the very last of his tribe.
Okay.
After the ranchers had killed every single other person in his tribe, he decided to go into hiding.
As one would.
Yeah.
I know I would.
Constantly on the move because the ranchers never stopped hunting him. It is believed that he made over 50 little huts, which are pretty impressive.
Wow.
Each with a 6-foot deep hole in the middle of it.
All while running from the ranchers.
Yeah, this is where he got his name. Now, I've read a lot of what people think the hole was for, and
Okay.
most of them are wrong.
Well, okay. Can you give me examples?
So I used to teach outdoor Aboriginal living skills.
Yeah.
And what he made was a seep well. It's a hole that you dig down to get fresh water when the water table is high enough. Instead of having to walk through a jaguar-infested jungle to get a sip of water, all he needed to do was go to the hole.
So he made his own natural cenote.
Yeah, made a mud cenote.
Yeah.
So it naturally filters out the water.
That is brilliant.
It's also a great place to keep your food away from flies and ants.
Yeah.
So they build like a little basket and they would suspend it in the middle of the hole so
Okay.
that bugs can't get to it.
Holy cow, that's brilliant.
Yeah. And also, in a pinch, it's a pretty good hiding place.
Yeah. I can see
Especially when you're being hunted.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
A few palm fronds over the hole, and now you have something like what they found Saddam Hussein in. A spider hole.
Aha.
Yeah. The last time the Man of the Hole was attacked by the ranchers, it was in 2009, and he barely escaped with his life.
Oh, wow.
The people that had been following this drama for all these years have tried multiple times to try to make contact with him.
Trying to help him out, like mutual aid?
No, just to try and see if he has anything he needs.
Gotcha.
But just like the Sentinelese, he didn't want anything to do with anybody.
Well, yeah, trauma.
And unlike the people of North Sentinel Island, they listened and stayed away. So they watched him from a distance and told his story.
Wow.
When the story came out, the ranchers pretty much left him alone. Now that the eyes of the world were on him, they couldn't risk killing him anymore.
Because he was no longer invisible.
Right.
Hmm.
For 26 years, this man lived alone, by himself, in the jungle. I can't think of a single sadder story.
So heartbreaking.
This had to be the loneliest man alive.
Absolutely.
For those 26 years.
Yeah.
I think he did his best to live in their memory. When he finally passed away in 2022, it seems he knew he was going to die, probably of sickness. And the reason he knew that he was going to die is because he gave himself his own funeral.
Oh, for real.
They found him in his hammock, covered in brightly colored macaw feathers, which was their way.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
The last of his kind. Oh my God.
And he had to say goodbye to himself.
To himself.
Yeah.
To mourn yourself. Oh, good God.
The truth is, we don't know what we don't know.
No.
Many cultures don't make art or have written languages. So when they are gone, they leave a huge mystery in their wake.
Yeah.
We have no way of knowing how many of these uncontacted peoples there actually are, or sadly, who have passed away, and we will never know that they even existed. Even here in the United States, the chances are that there was a pre-Columbian civilization that not only was successful, but lasted for thousands of years. And
Absolutely
we
possible.
will never know about it.
No, and absolutely possible. Oh my God.
Think of the first Europeans that came to this land.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Columbus. I'm talking about the Vikings.
Okay.
Imagine how many tribes there were before the first cases of the diseases they brought over wiped them out completely.
Tribes of natives. Oh my God.
Those tribes will forever be lost to history. Their cultures, their medicines, their heroes, and their hopes and dreams for their children in generations to come.
Because oral language.
If I could boil this whole episode down to one single thought, it would be that human progress isn't very forgiving to humans themselves. And we need to pay attention to that going forward into the future.
The hubris of man. We all deserve respect.
Yeah.
And yet, for some reason, we don't give each other that. The victors get the spoils, I guess you will.
Well, respect at the cost of progress.
What is progress if people have to be wiped off the face of the earth for the world to move forward? I would say that's backwards, not progression.
I'll answer that with another question. What does that have to do with the Kardashians?
Oh, so that's like the modern day. What's the price of tea in China have anything to do with this, with me?
Right. But I also love it when people say that, because then I say, well, you see, if the price of tea in China falls to a market low, then the demand for tea will also drop to a market low, causing the people that are tea growers to revolt against their landowning masters and cause a revolution. So that's what it has to do with the price of tea in China.
But what about the Kardashians?
Oh, yeah, the same thing, but with tea instead of tea, attention.
It's TV. Yeah, entertainment.
That's right.
Oh my God.
TV. TEAVEE. That was stupid. Cut all that shit. Wow. Would you look at the time?
Is it that time again?
It is that time. It's the time that we're going to need to break for ads so that I can finally get a hold of that Columbia House debt that I got in the 90s.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
And I hope that does something to dissuade the Balrog that is Columbia House music from chasing us through the mines of Moria. It's fine. We went on a little walk there. It's fine. That was a lot.
That was heavy.
That was, yeah.
Kind of.
Wow.
Span the gamut on that one.
Everybody take a deep breath.
Ooh.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Not yet. Okay, let it out. There we go. Everybody feel better? Anybody lost consciousness?
No.
Okay, good. Oh, wow. So, on to something lighter.
Yes, please.
My very favorite part of the show is this part of the show, the Karmic Suggestion Box.
Karmic Suggestions!
Where we ask very nicely and politely that Karma please listen to our suggestions.
Please, oh please, kind universe.
So, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You know what? Okay, I can go first.
Okay.
For this karmic suggestion, this is specifically for the ranchers.
The ranchers.
May they become allergic to all the money they made from clear-cutting the land and displacing the people.
That's a good one. Yeah, hopefully they get hives.
Yeah, take that.
Take that. Karma, please. Give them money hives.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just give everybody above $1 billion, give them money hives.
Make it a problem, please.
Yeah, I mean, make there be consequences to hoarding wealth. Which there are no consequences to hoarding wealth of the rich, just everybody else.
Right.
So my karmic suggestion is for Jair Bolsonaro. Jair Bolsonaro. God, that's a hard name to say.
I mean, do we have to be respectful and say his name perfectly?
I guess not, but I just, I don't want to get it wrong.
That douche face in Brazil fucking everything up.
That guy. Okay, so, I don't think that karma can really be given to him in this lifetime because it's already working on him right now. So, this karmic suggestion is for when he gets reincarnated.
Because it's going to happen.
Because this is what I would hope that they would reincarnate him as a piñata full of diarrhea.
Wait.
Yeah. I mean, he already is a diarrhea-filled pinata, but
That's a shitty payoff.
well, no, listen. So that it happens that we get to watch him both figuratively and literally get the shit beat out of him.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do pity the person with the stick.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. That might be their thing. They might have special ordered it from like Temu or Wish.
Or they had it coming. I don't. All right.
Well,
Anyways.
I mean, they had it coming with special delivery instructions. Anyway.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And now on to the positive karma aspect of the suggestion box.
With less fecal matter.
Depends on who we're highlighting.
Okay.
This is where we like to flip the script and highlight somebody that deserves good karma. And also for the people out there listening, maybe a chance for you to help some of these people out.
Absolutely. If nothing else, go and take a look at what they're up to.
For my good karma shout out, I want to shout out my birthday sister.
Ooh, birthday sister!
Mandy Luce, who recently just moved from Texas to Canada.
Oh, that's a move.
Yeah, to Newfoundland. It's frozen up there.
From hot to cold.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Well, it's not just that she has moved to a different place, but she's also trying to start a business.
Is she?
Well, yeah, she had a business in Texas, but she's got roadblock after roadblock that she's running into right now.
Okay.
And with a little bit of help from people at home, she might actually be able to do some really good stuff.
Well, let's help her out. What she got going?
So she makes infused lotions and pain relieving salves with CBD and THC.
That sounds wonderful. Being a chronic pain patient myself. Ooh.
That's actually one of the main reasons why she started doing this. Is she's a chronic pain patient herself.
Oh, so she knows what it's like to hurt.
She absolutely
and
knows.
then she knows what it's like for it to work. Ooh.
That's right.
What's the name of her stuff?
It's called Hippie Honey Organic.
Hippie Honey Organic. Can we find her online?
You can. Her email address, if you would like to help out, because she's trying to get some startup capital going, is at hippiehoney.organic@gmail.com.
Okay.
And if you want to cash app her, that's MoonMaiden420.
Money makes the world go round.
And also it can lead to some people doing some really good things.
Absolutely. Community helping one another be out of pain. How amazing is that? So if you can go and give her any help, please do.
And with that, we're going to try to give her our own karmic help by asking for the karmic suggestion box to bless her with the allegiance of all woodland creatures.
Oh, how very Snow White of her. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I hope that happens for her, that she's just out there, making CBD lotions, and all of a sudden a moose comes out and just, what do you need?
Give a little helping hand.
Yeah, Snow White the shit.
That sounds wonderful. So magical.
Magical.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. This week I would like to put my best friend Lyndsay DeStefano on blast.
DeStefano.
This woman is incredible.
Amazing.
In my personal opinion, she is a veteran. Mm-hmm. She's a single mom. Mm-hmm. But one of the coolest things that she does...
She's also a cyborg.
One of the coolest things that she does is she supports local artists and helps artists by donating her time, framing the art for local artists so that they can go out there and get their work sold.
She's framed a few of my pieces.
She absolutely has.
And she's done a lot to get my name out there personally.
She really does. Yeah. She helps in any way she can. She's on a board member on...
the Artist Coalition?
Thank you. The Artist Coalition of Flagstaff. Thank you for stepping in.
You're welcome.
So yeah, if you want to help an artist help other artists out, you can go check her out on Facebook. That's LINDSEYDESTEFANO. She has Chameleon Artist, which is a great way to get a hold of her, or just through her name. Help her help other local people to create art and beautiful things. And
also, she's a very friendly person with a very friendly soul. So don't feel like you can't reach out, because she is a very good person.
Absolutely. And a karmic suggestion for Lyndsay. I hope that with every new sign language she learns, because she's going for ADL.
Fascinating.
So for every new sign language sign that she learns, sparks an award-winning idea in the artist that you're helping.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's a good karmic suggestion.
Sending those blessings your way.
So, at the end, like always, we'd just like to leave you with positive vibes.
All the love.
All the love. Try to just stay safe out there because it's crazy.
Humans are nasty.
And dangerous. Do not recommend 0 stars.
0 stars.
But they are plentiful and organic.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I went dark.
Well, we did cover that earlier.
We did.
Nice callback.
Take their power.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We're going to get us canceled over cannibalism.
Okay. Anyways.
So, yeah, come find us here next time.
Oh, yes. Next time, we're going to have the switch flipped up on you, and it's my turn to tell a story.
Lindsay's going to get her Punch Card Morty episode.
Get ready, guys, because it's going to be crazy.
I had a chance to get a little peek at the script, and I'm not ready.
Hey, no. Hey. Shh. Don't foreshadow.
Okay,
Let them figure it out next week. Until then, stay elusive.